Hello and welcome to MP Strong 365, day 87. Oh, I'm kind of like, need to be far back to be seen in full view, but not for long. I gotta hide this. This is when it makes a sound, it's incites crazy activity from the dog. In fact, I might just show that at the end because it's so wildly entertaining. All right, so I don't know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. This is a something is better than nothing style workout. So just adding a ball. So if you don't have a stability ball, you can use a dumbbell or just your hands. And we're gonna make circles around the upper body, around the back of the head, satellites with the ball. So I have my legs straight to start, but I'm trying to keep my weight in the base of my glutes and my tailbone tucked. And then maybe I'll add a little bit of a knee movement here because the whole name of the game here is like getting stuck in the mud throughout the day. Whether you're standing or sitting, but you just get stuck. So you want to imagine grounding down through your glutes. I was thinking about those soldiers who like have to stand there outside of the palace for 12 hours and how they're like what they stand with, right? We can stand on our feet, but we can also stand up into our glutes so that our feet are nice and light. So I'm going to add a little bit of a right. So I'm going to rotating to the left. What am I doing? Yeah. Swinging down to the left, turning the right foot, and then up and around. Almost like you're carrying something down and then scooping it up and just letting your right side turn with that. A couple more. And working through the spine. We're doing this as well. So now we'll scoop up right side, sweep the left foot. Sweep the left foot up as you turn, noticing if your energy connects down through your leg, up through the waist. Does your spine feel like it's moving around a little bit? Getting a little bit of lubrication. 2 more times. 1 more time. Great. And we'll go ahead and let's have a lay down with the ball between the legs, and we're going to lift it up. Either, what is this? Between the legs or on top of the legs. I'm going to do both. So we have the ball between the legs first, laying on our back. And again, you can do this with a towel between your legs or nothing between your legs. The ball adds a little bit of a squeeze on those inner thighs. So I'm squeezing the ball with the arches of the foot and then going into the abs for a big breath. So next breath, you want to S that breath out. Inhale through the stomach, the middle of the stomach. Now on this last one, I'm going to really try to shimmy my shoulders down. Relax the collarbone down. Let the chest sink down and then expand from the stomach. Great. All the while, you're either pressing your feet down on the floor or applying pressure into the ball. Now we're going to lift that ball up. And when I lift, I want to hoist up from the middle of my spine going down, pressing my hands lightly against the floor. Press the spine, lift the ball until you can hopefully feel your whole spine pressurized against the floor. And we're just going to keep repeating those lifts. If you want to keep pressure, like ideally you have a band or something that helps you maintain pressure on the outsides of the glutes by squeezing the ball. If you don't have a ball, focus on the underbelly of your legs as being hoisted up. And the hoisting up part is through your middle and lower abs. Like now, my head and neck is doing some work here, so I'm trying to relax that a little bit and folding in from the transverse abdominis So those belt buckle abs below the belly button, so squeezing on those first. And having a target goes a long way, right? So you may not really feel it, but if you think about this iron belt buckle right below your belly button, and that is lifting up your legs as one unit until you feel your back is pressing against the floor, maybe dragging the shoulder blades together just a touch, or adding an elbow press for like a little bit of a bind. 3 more times. Great, and going to relax that away from the ball. We'll flip over onto the stomach for a back stretch, chest opener. So on the floor, we start with our hands down by the shoulders and just let the hips wiggle from side to side, and tuck your tailbone down like someone is literally pushing your tailbone down underneath you. So, your posture is different than my posture, but overall, we globally tend to be too far forward and too hiked up. So I'm trying to drag my shoulders down away from the ears and then pull my tailbone underneath me a little bit, because that's like a compensation where you go kind of butt out because you're so leaned forward from the upper body to counterbalance. So this is our way to recenter our posture, our alignment, the way we look in standing, and the way we feel, which muscles are on in standing. So now with that in mind, I'm just rubbing the sides of the thighs a little bit. I'm going to press up, engaging the tailbone underneath me first, and squeezing up on the thighs a little bit, pressing the tops of the feet down into the floor. So glutes, thighs, feet, as I press up. Trying to really keep that tailbone hidden underneath me, and the collarbone down away from your throat. Good. And obviously a modification there is to just come up onto your forearms. So I'll do one where I'm coming up on the forearms. They call this Sphinx in yoga. And I think maybe they have legs together on Sphinx, but who knows? Maybe that's something else. But sure, why not? Let's put the legs together. And then again, just bury that tailbone underneath you and come up. And then put your forearms in a spot where you can press down against the elbow, against the forearm, and pull the elbows back a little bit so that you feel your chest is opening. I'm going to take a couple breaths here. And from here, I'm going to take it up through tabletop. I'm going to pop up and do a push-up position to reestablish that core engagement there. And noticing that I need to be a little bit more on the balls of my feet to make me happy. So I'm going to pedal into my feet a little bit, trying to get more on the balls of the feet. That'll help you engage your glutes and core when you're doing a plank position. So the more weight you have in your legs, right, I can lift my arm up, I can lift my arm up in a push-up position. That means that my legs are holding and my core is holding enough of me to, so I don't fall out with the upper body endurance, right? Number one thing is people's shoulders get tired on a push-up position, but if you displace more weight back behind you, which you can also do by tapping the knee and then bringing them up, that really helps get that pressure down to your legs, into your abs, right? So now I'm going to lower down from that push-up position and just slide out of that. We're going to flip back over and use the ball underneath the legs for a tight and tiny lowest, like they call this the grumble ab exercise, like like the throat clearing. No, thank you, goodbye. A dog didn't have enough activity today, apparently. It was raining, whatever. Okay, so with my ball hugged underneath me, this is the hardest part for people, just keeping that ball underneath your thighs, underneath your legs, right? So when I'm starting to do this, I'm just pulling the ball straight in. Great, but not optimal. So I have captured the ball. That means my hamstrings are working it a little bit. And now I'm gonna work on hoisting my legs straight up, like someone is lifting me from the shins up. And that's how you get the grumble, the gut punch, the okay, ooh, that made my lips tickle. Okay, so I'm gonna do 12 of these, and you really can't talk when you're doing these because they're way low right at the base. Tiny lift, big benefit. Good. Now I'm going to take that ball into my hands, let my legs play out onto the floor, and stretch that ball or your hands or your weight above your head. Is anything in my way? Wow, it's like the first time in my whole life. And I'm just going to bring that ball up and down, away from the floor. Now with my legs kind of like spread out like this, right, I don't necessarily feel a stretch of any kind. So maybe I wiggle my feet in and out just to kind of like feel where, you know, my inner thighs were just working, where the outside of the hips were just working. This is, after all, a stretch. So you can liberally, like if I introduce you to a new city and you have no clue what a house is versus an apartment versus, you know what I mean, a road, right? So a stretch, making a stretch your own, means you look at the landscape first, okay? So where is my foot, right? Can my feet go to the right? Can my feet go to the left? Can my arms go to the left? Can my arms go to the right? Like, which part of my hand is gripping this ball? Where am I supposed to be feeling this? It doesn't matter really where you're supposed to be feeling it. It matters that you are exploring the landscape. So right now I'm noticing my wrists are a little bit tight when I try to keep them square. Like, see how they're wrapping the ball, but when I try to flatten them out, I feel that my wrist is tight. So when I come to the other side, I'm going to try to flatten out that left palm into the floor and then press my right arm into it. And then I'm also feeling like I can't feel my butt at all during this. And so that's one of the goals. And so I'm going to take this into sort of an alternating leg pull, knee dragon. So I'm going to bring the other knee in, drag it in, and just feel that bottom, the resting glute squeeze. And then a little bit of hip flexor massage on the one that's drawing in. And then I'm noticing my feet kind of looked a little bit like claw-like, so I'm going to just press down through those toes. Okay, so that I kind of relax, have a net relaxed ankle. If I let go, it's just more relaxed. Because think about it, your feet are on the floor, they're like a duck, right? They're always in flexion. They're always folded, right? So if we point the toes, that's very hard for people. And to point and flex is very beneficial to regaining the range of motion in your feet after they've just been like this all day. Okay, so squeezing the glute that's on the floor. I'm just holding the ball up now just for a little counter tension. And I'm treating this as a stretch, but it does have immense core benefit. In fact, you can't really do core unless you're stretched out because like your back does all the work. Which mine is pretty much right now, but hey. Here we are to try again. 3 more times on this slow, alternating about 3-4 seconds per each knee drag in. And then I'm gonna put the ball between my legs one more time and I'm gonna go straight leg drops. So this is the quote hardest one of the sequence. And so I'm holding the ball up at hip level, pressing the ball between the insteps of both feet. And I'll kind of like give it a little squeeze. Just squeeze, 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 squeeze. Again, the movement pattern is more important than the exact exercise. So if you don't have this equipment, you can squeeze your foot into the floor. You can move your leg side to side. Like really anything anything counts. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, I'm going to squeeze my butt when I get to the bottom on the floor. Bottom at the bottom. That's going to be what really makes this cake. The reason my hands are resting on my forehead is to remind me to try at least to relax my head and neck, like bracing it. Yep, that way the bottom of the abs gets all the love. Lock out the legs for the last two. And we're good on that. Now we're going to use the ball in a bridge position, doing a chest press. So, heck, what are you so weird for? Dog is being so weird today. Yeah, all right. I'm going to do 25s. And I'm gonna lift up my 25s just to even get ready to get on the ball using my hips and glutes. Gonna walk them over. So when you enter a workout, every move is a part of the workout. All right. And we'll come down with the dumbbells. Crawling the toes out so I perceive them to be equal to each other. Oh, I can check. Maybe they are. Yeah. Okay. So now tuck the tailbone up underneath you and press those weights. I don't know why I'm more concerned about the mat becoming unadhesed than the exercise. I try to stick these down really good. They keep moving. Because I'm not going to pay for like thousands of dollars of mat. That's just silliness. Because after the initial shine wears off, you ain't gonna be more likely to do it if you spend $1,000 on a floor versus $100. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? 2 more times. And since that was relatively slow, just because I've got a heavier weight, I'm gonna now do a faster chest press and a push-up. And we'll do that again. And that's it. All right. So, faster chest press means, let's see, I'll do a kneeling punch. So we'll take a knee. And, ooh, maybe I'll build in a stretch here. Okay. So come up and just hold the weights and punch across the body. Woo! My whole goal is to stretch out through the spine because you and me and the family tree gets fat bellies because our spines are tight. I am literally getting a stomach because my spine is too tight. So I know it's all relative, but it doesn't make it any less true. A tight back, you can't fire the abs. And then another thing, somehow as age, the number accumulates, we're just like less likely to want to move. It's like, I'll just get up and like sit here. Like, it's funny. I'm gonna go 8 more on this side. So if you don't move, you get stiff. Yeah, that's 2. And relax that. Put your hands on the floor. Keep your knees on the pad. Actually, keep one knee on the pad, the same knee that was on it before. And extend the other leg straight out back behind you. Walk your hands forward, and we'll come into a push-up, keeping your toes tucked, toes pointed, right, on the leg that's bent. And we'll do a push-up. And as I come up for my push-up, I'm trying to drag that right hip sort of down to the floor and then lift the left hip up. Push up. Since I'm here, 2 more times. Just stay where you are and lift that left leg up and up and up and up. Toes point, leg extends, get long. Push down through the knee on the right to get up out of your hips. Clap your hands. Whee! Yeah. Lightweight in the hands. Clap your hands again. Good. Sorry, dog. Eight, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And go and take that back into a stretch, like a child's pose. And we're gonna take the other knee. Actually, let's do our slow chest press first, and then we'll do our half kneel. Look at our punches. Oh, P.S. It was raining really hard, so my hair is up like this. Oh my gosh. It has become, yeah, we're gonna. I need to wash it or something, or cut it, or both. You know, only so many hours in a day to procrastinate. Oh. So, back on my ball. That's not gonna work. Grab your weights. That's why they put these little pokey things on the ball, so it only moves like a little bit and not a lot, but I don't know if that actually does anything. So we'll come down into our chest press. I'm gonna do 12 and then come into our half kneel on the pad. And on my chest press, I'm keeping my bridge alive, my bridge active, my spine is long, so get tall. That was a nice noise. And spine long first, tailbone tucked, and press. She's like, is it still raining? The underneath of my spine is what I'm trying to get long. And I do that by rolling the hip bones up towards my ribs and hiding my tailbone. And then my spine will hopefully get longer, less rounded. So nice and flat. Stamping down through the glutes. Stamp down through those glutes. Good. Do fancy walk up. Oh my God, it's hard. See, this is where the mats become. Okay, unstuck. Whew. That was stupid. Okay. We'll come on to our half kneel. Bye-bye, ball. Right. Left foot front. And we'll punch across the body. I'm gonna do about 24. Ugh. And then maybe I'll finish with like a down dog stretch or something. It's so funny how bored my dog gets. She'll like come to me looking like, what are we doing now? I'm like, I don't know. Entertain yourself. All right, more punchy. More punchy. Yeah, I should play music in the background. I'm gonna jimmy rig something. Stamp that right foot down. Music just helps her beat, right? See, I can do that. Like Michael Jackson, not so much like, you know, beatbox. And relax that. We'll come down into that push-up position. What's happening? Some Bluetooth is talking to me. The world has gone mad. Okay, apparently I'm disconnected from the internet. Okay, so, but we don't need that for this. That's good. You don't need internet to work out. So come on to your knee, extend your opposite leg. I'm on my left knee. I'm gonna point my toes, pull my heel up and towards my butt, lift the right leg up. Straighten out that right leg, lift it up a little bit higher, and try to, this left hip is a problem, so I'm really gonna try to just squeeze that glute and bring the hip flexor forward. Squeeze one more time. Just gonna take a little bit of a pause here. See if I can get it. All right, now 12. And go ahead and stay there. Come into your knee, leg extensions. And lift, and lift. Moss, moss. Clap your hands, clap your hands. Oh, this one's hard to clap the hands too. There we go. Clap your hands. Oh my gosh, clap your hands. There we go, one more time. Clap your hands. Okay. And relax that. And I'm debating. Now let's just take it to a pigeon since we're already here. Like some form of cross hip stretch. Actually, here, let me show you on a chair and then we'll be done. Okay, perfect timing. So put your leg up on a chair. Ooh, get a pad. And arrive in your stretch. Something is better than nothing. And we're going to switch sides. I'm gonna have to flip my chair. Oh, right, you can do it this way too. I like to kind of put my leg up first and then sink down, but here we are. In T-minus 30 seconds, we'll be done. Because humans have a weird thing about like time, like exactly 30 minutes. Like you'll see like people on the treadmill, like 29, they're like running, like reaching their hand forward, like, and like stop at exactly 30 minutes and not a second more. So I like to stop at like 24:32 just to, you know, mix things up. Okay, so in the interest of humoring polite society, and it's a desire for exact numbers in 3, 2, 1. See you next time.